Nobody woke up and said Emeka would amount to nothing. They just stopped expecting him to. There is a kind of child that adults forget is in the room. Not because he causes trouble. Not because he is rude or loud or difficult. But because he is quiet in a way that makes people uncomfortable. Emeka was that child. At 10 years old, he would sit at the edge of the compound after school. Not playing. Not crying. Just thinking. He would draw patterns in the dust with a stick. Circles inside circles. Lines that connected things nobody else saw needed connecting. His mother would watch him sometimes from the doorway. She never called him inside. She didn't know what to say to a child like that. So she said nothing. And Emeka kept drawing. The Chukwu household had rules that nobody wrote down but everybody followed. You brought home good grades. You sat quietly when the elders spoke. You made Papa proud. Tund understood this from birth. Tund was 2 years older than Emeka. Bright, obedient. The kind of son that made a father stand straighter at church. Every term, Tund placed in the top 3 of his class. Papa would put the report card on the dining table like an offering. He would call relatives. His voice would get that round, full sound it only got when he was proud. Emeka watched this. Every time. He would bring his own report card home tucked under his arm. Quietly, he would place it on the same table. Papa would pick it up, read it, set it down, and walk away. No shouting, no conversation. Just the sound of his father's footsteps moving to another room. That silence was louder than any beating. Emeka learned very early what he was worth in that house. He learned it from the sound of his father's feet walking away. Secondary school was supposed to be a fresh start. It was not. JSS 2. Third term. Mathematics. Mr. Okafor was the kind of teacher who performed intelligence. He liked the audience. He called Emeka to the board one Tuesday morning. A simple algebraic equation. Emeka stood at the board. His hand held the chalk. His mind went blank. Not because he didn't understand the work, but because 40 pairs of eyes were on him. And Mr. Okafor was already smiling. The kind of smile that already knew the ending. Emeka wrote something. It was wrong. Mr. Okafor laughed first. Then the class followed. Mr. Okafor said, "This one, by the time he is 30, he will be in the village cutting firewood." The class erupted. Emeka stood at that board, chalk still in his hand. He did not cry. He did not shout. He just stood there, while the laughter finished. While Mr. Okafor moved on to the next student. While the world kept moving as if nothing had just happened. He walked back to his seat, sat down, opened his notebook, and wrote nothing for the rest of that class. Something shifted in him that day. It didn't break him. It buried him, deep under a kind of silence that would take years to climb out of. The scholarship letter came on a Wednesday. Federal government. Full funding. Tund's name at the top. Papa read it 3 times before he believed it. Then he sat down. Then he stood up again. Then he called Mama from the kitchen. Relatives arrived by evening. The compound was filled with noise, with food, with the sound of grown people celebrating a child. Tund sat in the center of all of it, smiling, deserving it. Emeka sat in the kitchen, not because anyone sent him there, but because nobody told him to come out. He washed plates while the celebration happened, his hands in soapy water, the sound of music and laughter coming through the thin wall. At one point, a relative walked into the kitchen to get more cups, looked at Emeka, looked back toward the celebration, and walked out without saying a word. Emeka dried the plates slowly, one by one. He stacked them in the rack. He did not cry. He went to bed early that night. He lay on his back in the dark and stared at the ceiling until sleep took him. The WAEC results came out the following year. Emeka failed 4 subjects. He sat on the veranda when Papa read the result slip. He watched his father's face go through something he had never seen before. Not anger, not disappointment, something worse. Resignation. Papa folded the result slip slowly, set it on the table, and said, quietly, "Emeka, I don't know what to do with you." That sentence. 8 words. Emeka heard them and felt something inside him go very, very still. Not sad, Not angry, still, like a room after everyone has left. 3 weeks later, Papa arranged for him to learn a trade. Electrical work. He didn't ask Emeka what he wanted. He made a phone call, told Emeka to pack a bag. And that was that. No conversación. No, I believe in you, try something new. Just a phone call. And a bag to pack. Emeka packed it. The workshop belonged to a man called Baba Sul. Small building. Zinc roof. Hot even in Harmattan. Tools hanging on every wall. The smell of burnt wire and machine oil is always in the air. Baba Sul was not a gentle man. But he was a fair one. He gave instructions once. If you didn't follow, you lost the privilege of being corrected. The other apprentices complained constantly. The heat, the low pay, the long hours. Emeka said very little. He watched. He noticed things. The way a faulty connection created a specific kind of flicker. The way certain wiring configurations carried risk that wasn't obvious until it was too late. He started asking Baba Sul questions after hours. Not simple questions. Why does this circuit behave differently under load? What happens when the neutral wire is compromised but the system still reads normal? Baba Sul looked at him the first time he asked. Really looked at him. Like he was seeing something he hadn't expected. He answered. And Emeka listened with the kind of attention that most people reserve for things they love. For the first time in his life, something made sense. Not just in his head, in his hands, in the way his body knew what to do before his brain finished thinking. He was good at this. Not decent, not average, good. And that feeling, that small, terrifying, unfamiliar feeling, was something close to hope. Uncle Deli came during the December holiday. He was not the kind of relative people talked about. No big car, no government job title. He ran a small printing business in Ibadan. He spoke slowly and wore the same style of shirt in different colors. But he watched people in a way most people don't. On the third evening of his visit, he found Emeka sitting alone behind the house. He pulled a plastic chair and sat without being invited. They sat in silence for a while. Then Uncle Deli said, "You carry something heavy for someone your age." Emeka said nothing. Uncle Deli said, "What do you actually want? Not what your father wants. Not what this family expects. What do you want?" Emeka looked at him. Nobody had ever asked him that. In 17 years of living in that house. Not once. His throat tightened. He looked away and said, quietly, "I want to build something. I don't know what yet, but something that is mine." Uncle Deli nodded slowly, like that answer was enough, like it was more than enough. He didn't give a speech. He didn't promise anything that night. He just said, "All right, give me a few weeks," and got up and went inside. 6 weeks later, Uncle Deli called. A solar installation company in Lagos was taking entry-level technicians. No degree required, just the ability to learn fast and work hard. The pay was almost nothing, but it was Lagos, and it was a door. Emeka sat with that information for 2 days. He knew what his father would say. He knew the conversation would not go well, so he made a decision he had never made before in his life. He didn't ask. He packed one bag, the same bag he'd packed when he came to Baba Sul's workshop. He left a note on the kitchen table for his mother. 3 lines. "Mama, I am going to Lagos. I found something. Don't worry about me." He left before sunrise, while the house was still sleeping, while Papa was still in the next room, unaware that the son he had given up on was walking out the gate with one bag and something in his chest that felt, for the first time, like direction.
Like and subscribe to our channel. Someone needs to hear this.
Lagos does not welcome you. It simply opens its mouth and swallows you whole. And then wait to see if you survive. Emeka arrived at Ojota Motor Park with one bag and a phone number scrawled on a torn piece of paper. The address Uncle Deli gave him took 40 minutes and 2 buses to reach. He got lost once, asked for directions twice. Nobody slowed down to help him properly. He found the place just before dark. A compound in Mushin. For men shared one room, 2 mattresses on the floor, a ceiling fan that worked every other day. The smell of yesterday's food is always in the air. Emeka put his bag in the corner they pointed to. sat on the floor, and looked at the ceiling. He thought about his father's compound, the way the evening light used to fall across the veranda, his mother's voice calling everyone for dinner. He did not let himself feel it for too long. He folded that thought carefully, placed it somewhere deep, and closed it. Tomorrow he had to work. The company was called Bright Grid Solutions. Small office, 8 employees, 2 vans. His supervisor was a man named Mr. Fashola. Impatient, exacting, not unkind, just efficient. He had no time for questions that wasted his morning. Emeka learned this on the first day, so he stopped asking questions in the morning. He saved them for the end of the day, when the vans were being packed up. When Mr. Fashola was slightly more human, he asked quietly then, carefully, and he listened to every answer like it was the last time he would ever hear it. He was the first one on site every morning. Not by a few minutes, by an hour. He would stand in the space before the rest of the team arrived, just looking, taking in the layout, thinking about what the job would require before the job began. The other technicians teased him about it. Emeka, you live here now? He would smile and keep working. Some days he ate once, a small sachet of water and a piece of bread from a hawker. He sent half of every paycheck to his mother, not because she asked, because it was the only way he could say what he couldn't say out loud. I am still here. I am still trying. Don't forget me. 8 months in. It was a commercial building in Ikeja, a 4-story structure that a property developer wanted fully fitted with solar backup. The job was bigger than anything BrightGrid had done before. Mr. Fashola was tense the whole week. Everyone moved faster, spoke less. On the 3rd day of installation, Emeka was running cable on the 2nd floor. He stopped. He looked at the main distribution board. Something was wrong. Not visibly wrong. The setup looked clean, standard, approved. But something in the configuration sat incorrectly in his mind. He stood there for a long time. Other technicians moved around him. He did not move. He traced the wiring layout in his head 3 times. Then he went and found Mr. Fashola. Sir, the neutral busbar configuration on the main board. I think there is a problem. Mr. Fashola looked at him. The installation team certified that board yesterday. I know, sir, but I think we should look again. There was a long pause. Mr. Fashola had 17 years of experience. Emeka had 8 months. The silence between them was uncomfortable. Mr. Fashola walked to the board. He looked again. He called the senior engineer. The senior engineer looked, and then the senior engineer went very quiet. Then I kept going. Mama called on a Tuesday evening. Her voice had that careful, soft quality it got when she was carrying something she wasn't sure how to put down. Your father heard you are doing well. Emeka said nothing. He doesn't say it, but I can see it. He is proud. Still nothing from Emeka. Then Mama said, he asked me how you were. He doesn't ask about things that don't matter to him. Emeka sat with that for a long time after the call ended. He didn't cry. He sat at his workbench, hands flat on the table, staring at nothing. Papa had not called. Papa had not said the words himself. But Papa had asked. And somehow, that was enough. Not everything, but enough. The Abuja contract came through on a Friday afternoon. A primary school in Kuj. Solar installation and full electrical fitting. Not a large contract by industry standards, but it was the biggest thing EC Systems had ever been awarded. Emeka drove to the site on a Monday morning. He stood in the school compound. Red dust, small classrooms, children's voices coming from somewhere behind the building. He stood very still. He thought about a classroom in secondary school. A blackboard, a piece of chalk in his hand. A teacher's laughter filled the room. By the time he is 30, he will be in the village cutting firewood. He didn't shout. He didn't call anyone. He just stood there in the red dust and let it settle over him, quietly, the way Grace always does. Tund called him 3 months later. The golden child, the scholarship, the degree, the family pride. He was trying to start a small business and didn't know where to begin. He called Emeka. Emeka answered on the 2nd ring. He didn't make Tund feel small. He didn't remind him of the kitchen. of the plates, of the celebrations he watched through a thin wall. He just talked, for almost an hour, freely, generously, because he was done. Done carrying old weight in new spaces. Done letting the past live rent-free in his future. When the call ended, he sat back in his chair, looked up at the ceiling, and for the first time in a long time, he smiled, not because he had arrived, but because he finally understood something. The people who wrote him off, they were never the judges. They were just noise, and he had spent too many years listening. Some boys are not slow. They are just running a race that nobody around them has the eyes to see. Emeka ran him, quietly, steadily, on a road he built himself.
Like and subscribe to our channel. Someone needs to hear this.